Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Betrayal at Krondor. In our last episode, we fought the evil mage Nago and were victorious. And now it seems there is nothing standing between us and our final destination, the city of Krondor. Let's take a moment to look at our map. As you can see, we're here just south of the town of Sarth. Krondor's right there. We're almost there. But before we go there, we need to do one last thing. Let's take a look at our party real quick. As you can see, Owen, he's not doing too well. He only has 9 health remaining. That was a very tough battle that we participated in. We were victorious, but only just barely. So let's head back north really quickly. And we're going to head back to the town of Quester's View just to rest at the inn. But while we're here, let's stop at the temple. Remember, they were having problems here dealing with the dream sendings being sent by Nago and his friends. Let's see if things are better here. Kellen greeted them. "You look a little more lively than the last time we met," Locklear said. "Have you gotten a bit of rest?" "The first I've had in a while," the priest admitted. "As I suspected, the dreams plague us no more. I've even heard our healer is once more on his feet. Our high priestess is still tired as yet, but I assume she will be back about her duties in no time. Things return to normal as by the will of Sung." Gorath hissed through his teeth at the bowing priest. "Like all priests, you credit those who watch, and not those who do." Snapping abruptly upright, a hurt look glowered in Kellen's eyes. "What do you mean?" "He means," Owen interjected, "that we found the person responsible for the dream sendings. There was a Moradel magician, and we took care of the problem." Sensing that the boy might go too far at his glory hounding, Locklear seized Owen's arm in a tight grip. "Please forgive my companions for their outbursts. They've been on the road for quite some time and have forgotten their manners." "No apology is necessary," the priest said, removing Locklear's grip on Owen's arm. "They're quite proper in asking acknowledgement. How may I reward you?" "Do you have any spells I might learn?" Owen interjected. Seeing the anger flaring in the Seigneur's eyes, he quickly amended. "If there are other magicians like them, it might be prudent for us to be better prepared to meet the challenge." Kellen nodded. "I have one such spell I can teach you that will allow you to protect yourselves. If the others will stay here." Fuming, Locklear noted his reluctant assent, taking a seat next to the reflection pool, motioning for Gorath to do likewise. Wordlessly, both sat down and prepared for a long wait. After several hours, Owen returned, a light smile flickering on his lips. But in the intervening time, Locklear's anger had not abated. Thanking the priest as graciously as he could, Locklear turned and stormed from the temple's courtyard, his charges following quickly behind him. Alright, let's go ahead and leave. So we've learned a new spell, it seems. Let's get back on the road for a moment. And we'll look at Owen's stats here. Well, we already had Flame Cast, to Spare the Eyes, Invitation. This is new, Hocho's Haven. Now that's a spell we're only going, I believe, we'll only be able to cast in combat. Yes, it's not visible, so we won't know what that is until we're in combat. I believe it's something to protect us, though. Alright, night is falling. Let's take a quick moment to use our herbal pack, just so Owen can heal a little bit more effectively overnight. And we'll continue on our way. We shouldn't be too long on the road before we reach Quester's View again. I'm just going to kind of blaze through this really fast. There's the crossroads. And Quester's View is just right here. Let's go through the trees. While we're here, let's stop at the shop here and sell off everything we got in that final battle. I shouldn't have sold that. I believe that was actually better than the armor he had, but that's fine. Alright, we'll also sell off these extra blades that we obtained. I really don't need so many whetstones. I'm going to give one of these extra whetstones to Locklear. He doesn't have any extra Let's go ahead and repair our crossbow. He doesn't have any extra blades. Locklear does, though. Very good. Okay, we look like we're pretty well off. All right, let's head to the inn, which I believe is right... Oh, and night is falling, so that's actually good timing. We'll use a herbal pack there. We'll use an herbal pack here. Gorath doesn't have one, so Owen will lend him one. That way everyone will heal as effectively as possible overnight. And we're all in pretty good shape now. That's great. All right, let's head back to the road, and we'll finally continue our quest south to Krondor here. I noticed we didn't run into that farmer again. He must have fled. He must have feared perhaps our reprisal for his betrayal. The farmer we met somewhere right around here, I believe. North of Sarth, which is right here. All right, let's continue our way south. We should be soon coming on the inn, or not the inn, the barn where we. In fact, this road here is leads to the barn that we had that final fight in. Let's rest for the evening. We'll continue on our way. All right, and there's the barn, and now we are. This is where we left off in the last episode. Up, and enemies are awaiting us right when we begin, just south of us. Some more Quagan pirates. Let's try to get the drop on them. No, the enemy was waiting for us, unfortunately. Alright, they're too close for Owen to use any spells, so Owen's going to move off, and Locklear's going to go ahead and jump in here. That first one is using a crossbow. Well, we can respond in kind. 51% to hit him, 49 for him. Well, our best chance is to hit him. Let's see if we can do it. Remember, in this game, using your skills is the best way to increase them. I'm going to try to move Owen out of that guy's way. Locklear's going to continue parrying him. And he's continuing to try to hurt Owen. What did I ever do to you? Fortunately, he's still in the reach of Locklear, and now he's taking more damage. He may not be able to move as far. Alright, Owen now has the ability to cast spells, but I'm going to have him keep resting because he took some damage. Locklear's going to continue fighting this enemy, and the first enemy is down. Gorath took a pretty bad hit there, but he's going to keep fighting. Owen's going to go in and try to help Gorath here, while Locklear fights the other enemy. Gorath still has stamina, so he's not too bad. Remember, once your stamina goes down, that's when your hit points start going down. As long as you have stamina, you're not doing too badly. The second enemy is down. Ooh, but a good hit to Locklear. Locklear's down to 0 stamina. I'm going to move him away and have Gorath take over. Oh, and finish off the enemy, so there we go. I was going to have Locklear rest next turn if he had a chance, but we defeated the enemies, so unfortunately their bodies are all piled together. It might be hard to loot all of them. Let's see what we can do. At this point in the game, like, we're going to have a hard time managing our inventory. It's a little difficult. The more you go, the harder it is to... let me start over here. The more that we do, the more stuff we try to collect and loot, the harder it is to carry. Your inventory fills up very fast in this game. I'm going to go ahead and grab these just for the purposes of repairing them, because we want to keep increasing our skills, but we have plenty of quarrels. I'll take. Let's see if I can fill up to 25 for Gorath here. Yeah, but we don't need this last 4. He already has 2 piles of 25, as does Locklear. We don't need any more quarrels than that. And that crossbow is not as good as either of the ones we have. Well, we increased our armor craft just for that. Gorath's up to 52 and Locklear's at 56. 46, rather. Right, we already saw that guy. How about this one? A restorative, those are always useful. Another sword, let's repair that. I forgot to repair the swords that I picked up. As well as that armor. We'll give that to Locklear to try to repair. And Gorath's ability is increased. His weapons craft is up to 72, and his armor craft keeps increasing up to 53 now. All right, let's go to the other side of these guys. That might let us get that final. There we go. Now we can see them all laid out 3 in a row. This one's empty. This one is the one we didn't see yet. There's a sword of 86. Let's... If I hand this to Owen, Locklear should be able to take that last sword. Repair that. Excellent. And a final piece of armor. If I give this armor has already been repaired, I believe. We'll give that to Owen. Then we'll repair this one. Excellent. Very good. All right, so we're going to continue south. Let's take a look down this little road here. Nope, nothing here. I don't see any chests or anything buried in the dirt. It's always good to take some of these side roads, though, because you can find mortal locked chests sometimes. You can get lucky. This road goes around the mountainside, and again, I don't see anything worth looking at. All right, let's return to the road. I think I see something over there. More enemies. Before we engage with them, let's take a moment and let's see what time. We're too close to the enemies. Let's back off a little bit more. It's almost nightfall. Locklear can heal a little bit better than he is. So let's have him use his herbal pack. And we'll rest for the night before we're going forth to these next enemies. There. We're not at full health. Remember, you can't get to full health without sleeping at an inn. We'll try to get the jump on these guys. We got the surprise attack. Excellent. Alright, so these 2 enemies are waiting for us. We get the first move. So Locklear's going to rest. Sorry, Owen's going to rest, and Locklear is unfortunately not close enough to fight either of them. Let's try using our crossbow. Only a 39% chance of hitting, but hey, it's worth trying. We won't get better if we don't ever do it. Same with Gorath. Let's try using his again. 43% chance versus 45. Well, we missed both times, but it was worth a try. Let's go into the melee now and actually fight for real. This one's going to be troublesome, so let's move forward and try to stop him from shooting. Owen's going to go ahead and move back to try to avoid taking any more damage than he already has. Alright, we got that first enemy to fall. And he's going to keep trying to shoot crossbow bolts at us, isn't he? Fine, if that's how you're going to be, I'm going to use a spell on you. Well, the problem is it's going to use up a lot of Owen's health. I think it might be worth it. Let's spend 10 of his health for a 54% chance of doing 30 damage. And another 8 from Locklear, from his quarrels. I'm going to move Owen behind Gorath here. And we'll finish him off. So that was a bit of a tricky battle there. But our abilities increased. Let's see what we gained. We might have gained some stealth for getting the surprise attack there. Locklear's strength is increased. He's in the middle of healing because he used that herbal pack. And Gorath's accuracy with a crossbow increased. That's wonderful. Let's take a moment. I need Owen to heal at this point, and we're going to rest for the night. We're going to rest the whole day through to get Owen back into the black. There we go. Now let's go ahead and take a look at these two bodies. Well, another very poor crossbow. I'm going to go ahead and take this shovel just so the body... If I don't take the cross... I want to show you something about this I didn't show in previous episodes. If you look at the body as it is and I want to drop something off onto it to make room to pick something else up, it doesn't let you. I don't think we dare put anything more on the body, he said, checking a rucksack which dangled from the corpse's shoulder. Anything more, and there's a good chance our tampering will be detected. Now, I don't know why we would care that anybody knows we looted the body, but you have to take something off before you can put anything else on. So I'll just take this shovel. That way we can drop off this armor. I'll give this armor then to Owen so that Gorath can take this new armor. Was this the new armor? Hang on. Yeah, we can repair that. Repair our own sword here. We should be able to then also take this sword. I don't know if there's room. Luckily, we'll drop this sword off to Owen. Now remember, the reason I'm doing this is mostly so we can gain more practice, keep increasing our abilities. And then, yes, I'll take the best weapons that we have. So there's 67% armor. Nope, all the armor we're holding is better than that. So I'm going to go ahead and give this armor to Owen. He can then wear that. This 75% armor will get repaired. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Okay. And we'll leave behind this... Oh, we can actually take this with us. There is enough room. But the second body... Well... Everybody's almost completely full. One thing we can do is I can take a piece of armor, put it into a bag, and it'll be there on the side of the road. That way I can go here. I can take what I wanted to take here to go ahead and just use my hammer on it. 90%. Not bad. We'll leave behind the 75% armor. That was not as good. We'll take that sword. And repair that as well. All right, and then let's look at our bag that we left. There's that armor that we left. That was only 67%. But it looks like there's only 3 inventory spaces remaining. There's not enough room to pick up that armor, so that's fine. We don't need to take everything with us. We just want to, do our best to do what we can to use our repair abilities. Oh, there's more enemies waiting for us ahead. This is a good time to save our game really quickly. Alright, more enemies. Let's try to get the drop on them again. Maybe we'll get lucky. Nope, the enemy was not surprised. Oh well. Looks like we're fighting 5 enemies. 2 Moradel and 3 Quagan pirates. Well, that could be tricky. Let's try using Owen's new spell that he gained. Hocho's Haven. It shields the target from damage. So we'll go ahead and use 14 of our stamina to shield Locklear. Now he's surrounded by a box. And I believe that box has to get destroyed before Locklear can be injured in any way. I'm going to go ahead and move Owen back here where he might be a little bit more shielded from incoming crossbow bolts. But with so many enemies, we want to get every advantage we can. Again, Gorath is getting hit, so once again, let's use Hocho's Haven. We're only going to spend 10, because we're running low. But this might be to our advantage. Already the first enemy is down. Alright, so who should we take out next? Well, let's go with the closest enemy. And Gorath's going to go up here to stop him from shooting at us. Meanwhile, Owen's going to just do his best to heal. Owen will keep healing, because he might be of more use. If we can get our stamina back, we can keep casting. It's hard to see where everybody is. Owen's turn again. We'll keep healing. Locklear. And the second enemy is down. 3 remain. But now they're coming after Owen, so Owen's gonna move away a little bit. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I thought it was Owen's turn. Uh-oh. That could have been bad for us. Owen, just heal real quick. Ooh, he took more damage. And Owen's down. It's hard to see where everybody is in this mass of people. Locklear's going to keep engaging with this pirate up here. I honestly can't tell how many enemies remain. It looks like 2. Locklear's almost out of stamina. Alright, that enemy's fleeing. So I'm going to have Gorath engage the pirate this time. The pirate is down. And all the enemies are defeated. But Owen was near death. Fortunately, well, we can heal him. The Locklear and Gorath are still in good shape. Let's see what these enemies are holding. We do have restoratives, and that's useful. 10 rations, so let's go ahead and share that among the party. Restoratives are also useful, and I may end up using those on Owen. I'm not going to worry about armor and weapons just yet. Let's see what other types of unique items that these enemies might have. More armor, weapons, crossbows. I believe that's who I just looked at. Yeah. About up here. More money. A medium crossbow, but this one's broken. I wonder if that's repairable with a crossbow string. All right, we might have to look at the other side of these bodies to get a better view of what they're holding, of who's holding what. For just a moment, let's go ahead and repair our weapons and armor that we have already. Locklear's armor is unfortunately not repairing back up to what it used to be, so let's see if we have anything better. We do have a 90% armor that Locklear can use. Let's go ahead and drop this armor. Give that to Locklear. No, we'll take that armor back. Oops, sorry, I mean give that to Gorath, rather. Owen's armor is in pretty bad shape. We'll give him this 83% armor. And we'll take his armor and try to repair see if that comes out better. Just back up to 83. Yeah, over time, your armor does just degrade. You can only do so much. All right, let's take a look now at these bodies. Let's see if we want to take anything with us. Locklear's doing pretty good. Look at all these abilities. Armor, craft, melee, defense. Our abilities are quickly increasing, but Owen is in very bad shape, so we want to try to get this over with very quickly. All right, there's this enemy here who has armor weapons in the 50s. It's the same enemy. It's hard to see. There's 2 enemies here, it appears. I'll go ahead and take that crossbow, the heavy one. We'll see if we can repair that. Let's try to drop this one onto the body. So I can give this to Gorath. And Gorath has a heavy crossbow string. No, that won't work. That unfortunately won't work for this type of crossbow. Alright, well, let's give this back to Gorath then. Alright, you know what? At this point, we've already got armor and weapons. I would just be trading ones for the other. The only reason to take those would be to practice our armor and weapon skills even more, but I think we've done enough. Let's continue on our way. Let's try to find a place where we can heal Owen. We're at a crossroads here. Well, it looks like Krondor, if we continue to the south, and then there's a road leading up this way. Now, if you remember, there were other quests that we were told about. There's things going on up around Eggley. And if we wanted to, we could do all that stuff before going to Krondor. But I think we'd like to... Let's go ahead and get this quest over with. Let's finish this quest. I just don't know which way to go. Do we continue due south or head to the southeast? Let's see what's in this direction. Southwest, rather. Let's see what's in this direction. Hopefully there's no fights. The path turned. After a few minutes of traveling, the roadbed began to slope toward the sea, leading eventually through a pair of iron gates into the majestic seat of the principality. Krondor, Locklear said with a sigh that seemed to indicate both relief and concern. If assassins have been sent against us, it seems a safe bet they'll be lying in wait for us between here and the palace. What's your guess, Gorath? Do we go in now or not? Yes, let's head to Krondor. And we finally made it to the city of Krondor. There is an inn here, so let's go to the inn. Let's talk to the barmaid so that we have access to our inventory. And the reason I want to do that, I want to give an herbal pack to Owen if I can. Let's see if there's a weaponsmith here that I can try to sell some things off at. Gorath snorted. The market district in Krondor, he said, containing his amusement. Why don't we just take all our possessions and give them away instead? The mockers are thick as porridge in there, and the local merchants hike up the prices accordingly. We'd be better off buying outside of the city. Well, as a gem shop, we can sell off that shell. I don't think they're going to buy our weapons and armor here, no. But that's fine. Now, Owen has room for that herbal pack I wanted to give him. I'm going to go ahead and give him all of them, actually. What can we buy at this shop? We could buy different gems if we needed them. Let's see if there are any other shops down here. There's the inn. There's the palace. We'll go there shortly. Another shop. Here is a weapon shop. Let's get rid of all of this stuff that's burdening our inventory so much. Alright, no more armor. Honestly, I don't need to have as many crossbow quarrels as I have. It's just taking up room. Fantastic. We don't need 2 shovels. Well, he won't take it, but that's fine. We'll have to get rid of this extra shovel at some point. We don't need it. Let's give these extra 5 rations to Locklear. That way we're a little bit closer to an even distribution of them. Okay, these lampreys are not as good as the one that Gorath is already carrying. Fantastic. That seems pretty good. He can repair his crossbow by doing that without wasting a new bowstring. Alright, I want to see this heavy crossbow that we purchased. I want to see if we can buy a bowstring for that. There's a heavy bowstring. Or, sorry, the medium I meant to say. Perhaps it takes a light bowstring. Let's hand one of these this light bowstring to Gorath here. Look at that! Now we have a medium crossbow. I want to show you the comparison here. The base damage for the light crossbow is only 7 plus the quarrel. Accuracy is 0 plus the quarrel plus your skill. The medium crossbow, in contrast, starts off with a 5 base accuracy plus the quarrel plus the skill. And it does damage of 15 plus the quarrel. That's way better, and we already know Gorath's pretty good with the crossbow. Let's give him that, and we'll go ahead and get rid of this, we don't need this extra crossbow then. An extra 15 sovereigns for that. Our armor's alright, we don't need to replace it just yet, but we'll keep in mind that we could always come here and buy more armor, although it's pretty expensive here. We've got whetstones and armor and hammers, so we're good. Alright, now, let's go to the inn. Oh, and go ahead and use that herbal pack, and we're gonna spend the night. If I can find, there it is, there's the innkeeper. Ooh, Owen is in bad shape. He's just not healing at all. Let's keep healing. He's just not gaining any health at this point. Let's take a moment to look at his stats really quickly. He's down to 97% near death, but he's not healing. And let's use some restoratives. We need to get ourselves up to a better position. There. Now we're healing. We're only 67% near death. Now let's try staying the night again. It did a little bit. Unfortunately, we just need to... something that we're going to need to do. We need to spend the money. I should be reading what they're telling me, because I think some things might be happening during the night. Owen once again is healing. And as you remember, let's just keep using restoratives at this point. As you may remember from that previous episode, near death is serious business. It's really hard to recover from it. You're going to be using a lot of time. And there, Owen's beginning to heal now. Ah, Gorath's out of food. Now let's purchase some rations for everyone. 14 for Gorath. 14 for Owen. And 14 more for Locklear. So it's an expensive business getting into the near-death status. But there. Locklear's almost completely maxed out. Locklear and Gorath are maxed out, and Owen almost is. Alright. Before we leave this tavern, let's see who this gentleman is. A table was cleared for them. Sitting down on a splintered bench across from the man, Locklear shared a bit of the mercenary's bread as he listened to a story about a failed love affair with a married woman. As the story progressed from a sentimental recounting to a drunken blubber, it became evident the man had no intention of finishing the tale anytime soon. That's terrible, Locklear intoned around a mouthful of bread, his attention fixed instead on the wooden boards behind the mercenary's head. Awful, tragic. Ah, there you are, a steward said, laying a heavy hand on Gorath's shoulder. Are you lads still going to help me carry in those bags, like we talked about? Initially at a loss, but suddenly understanding they had been rescued, Locklear clapped his hands together. Yes, of course, if our drinking companion will forgive the absence. Blearily, the man looked up at them and nodded, waving for someone to come and fill his cup. Locklear motioned to the figure across the room. The man walked over to join them. He stood before them, eyebrows arched inquisitively. This is Nivek. Senor Locklear, good to see you. Interesting news. Nivek, you old rascal. Got your ears to the grapevine again, eh? What is it this time? I've been to see Nia at the Six Toe, near Sethanon. Ah, I can't really talk about it right now. Why don't you come back later and see me? We will, good friend. Take care. Okay, so there's someone we can talk to later. Perhaps he has some information for us. Maybe after we go to the palace. Alright, let's see if we can bard. We failed. Unfortunately, we are not good enough yet to entertain this crowd. Alright, enough is enough. Let's go into the palace. Locklear made a face as he shook the bars. For all their troubles he had been through just to get them for all the troubles he had been through to get them all alive to Krondor, the locked palace gates simply added insult to injury. Calling out to the gatemaster angrily, he pounded the hilt of his sword against the portcullis. Stirred by the racket, a young man liveried in the colors of the Krondorian Lancers strode out of his watch house and squinted at them, snapping up his bardiche which leaned against the interior wall. "Would you get this gate open, please?" Locklear said. "We have business with the prince." "Can't help you, senor," the guard replied. "The gate mechanism's broken. Has been since 3 nights ago. Unless you and your companions have a mind of climbing the walls, there won't be any getting through here until we can find the plans for the portcullis. The castle engineer is absolutely livid." Locklear accepted the news with irritation, but knew of nothing else that could be done. "Could you go and get Prince Arutha for me then? It's a rather urgent matter." Again, the guard shook his head. "He's meeting with Pug of Starduck and some Serani fellow named Makala. Gave explicit instructions he wasn't to be disturbed unless the castle was burning down around their ears." "Could you at least find Senor James?" The guard cut him off with a shake of his shaggy head. "Been missing for 2 days. No one knows quite where he's off to, but you know how James can be." Locklear nodded. "All too well. My bump of trouble tells me he's looking for whoever sabotaged the gate." "Sabotaged?" The guard looked puzzled, as if the thought hadn't occurred to him. "Why would anyone do that?" "I'm not sure, but if the thought occurs to me, I can guarantee it has occurred to Senor James." Resheathing his sword, Locklear bid the guard farewell and motioned for his companions to follow him. "I have a feeling the only way to solve both our problems is by going through the sewers that lead beneath the city," Locklear whispered, hurrying them to the northern gate. "There's a secret passage that will lead us into the palace, and I also suspect that we may bump into Senor James down there as well." "Ah, how frustrating. We made it all this way only to be stopped right at the end by a broken gate. Alright, is there anything else to look at here? I don't believe so. There's nothing to do, just to go right into the sewer." Locklear led the way down. Twice he nearly lost his footing on the treacherous climb, but at last they arrived safely on a precipice of rock just below the northern gate. Too thick to allow determined effort at entry, the door was probably set over the sewer entrance to prevent odors from offending visitors passing through the northern gate. Ah, there's something here. Was there something hidden in the hole? Some money. Let's take that money. Anything else to look at around here? There is the door. That appears to be it. Locklear pulled the door open. Immediately he was overwhelmed by the stench of the sewers, and looked back to Gorath for his advice. "It smells awful down there," he said. "Are you sure you're ready to go in?" "Looks like there's nothing else we can do but go in." They made their way into the reeking blackness. Well, our barding ability did increase from that failed attempt. Surprisingly, it was Gorath's ability. It went up to 6%. Awful. Alright, well, this is a dark and foreboding sewer. We need some light. We do have a torch with only 1 use left. That's a problem. Let's go to that shop and see if we can buy more torches. We need to be able to see in the dark. Who knows what we might stumble upon. There's a torch with 3 uses. Let's buy a couple of them. Can we haggle? Ah! We'll go ahead and keep buying a few of these. I'm going to buy several because I'm not sure how long we're going to be down here. We'll buy 4 torches with 3 uses each. Gives us 12 uses of torch. Locklear will be our official torchbearer here. Alright. I don't want to rely only on the map because we won't be able to see any hazards waiting along the way, or enemies, so... A figure moved in the tunnel. Seemingly having appeared from nowhere, a young boy halted them before they could move any further ahead. "Who be you, and what would you in the Thieves' Highway?" "I be Senor Locklear, and I do whatever I will in the prince's sewers. If you're half as intelligent as you seem, then I would advise you step out of our way." "Fast with a blade I am. Step any further and I'll do you, I will." "The only thing you will do, my young friend, is die an unfortunate death on the point of my sword. I used to spar with Jimmy the Hand, and I'm a faster blade than he. Do you still wish to cross me?" "Jimmy the Hand? He's a legend, sire. Next you'll be telling me you've lain with the Empress Keisha of Kesh. I'd advise you be nice like, however, because I've got 5 blokes waiting a little on down to make sure nothing happens to me. See? I don't suppose you've come on behalf of Senor James, have you? Senor James? Then you don't... Well, perhaps we have. Alright then, down to tax. If he didn't send you, you'll be answering to the upright man and not me, so I wash my hands of it. Just watch your steps down here, as there's a bit of a trouble going on down here. Good day. Wait, we don't know our way around down here. I look like a bloody page to you. I've got affairs of me own, what's I got to do? Just answer a few questions. Right then, so long as you don't ask me anything what might get me in the hots with the Night Master. What want you to know? Well, what about picklocks? You wouldn't happen to have an extra set of picklocks lying about, would you? Could be I would. That would depend on what you have to offer me now, wouldn't it? How about a royal pardon the next time you end up in the hands of the city guard? Oh, that'd be very nice. How about the Prince's Palace while you're about it? I'd have to be cockle-headed and 3 pence short to buy on in a fib like what you just told. No quicker than you're out on the highway and you've forgotten it in a mock a minute. You'll have to do better. How about gold? That's the language. 25 gold sovereigns. Take it or leave it. I'm not going to spend 25 gold on lockpicks. I have lockpicks. Given my options, I choose to leave it. I could buy a set of picklocks and a week's rations for that price. You'll never be a success as a merchant with prices like that. Not my ambition. I much prefer it down here if it's all the same to you. I'll be off now as I've got business with the upright man. You'll have to come and tell me more of your fables about Jimmy the Ant. Perhaps we will. Thanks for your help. Alright, well, let's continue our way into the sewers of Krondor. We'll start off going right. We'll see what's down this passageway. Alright, let's take a look around. Through this dark, damp dimness. What is that up there? There's some torches on the walls. I see an enemy ahead of us. Let's find out who that is. Let's see if we can get a surprise attack on them. A group shambled towards them. Worshippers of Guiswa, the red-jawed hunter. The group moved in a disorderly clump, the hollows underneath their vacant eyes adorned with blood-colored whorls of pigment. Displaying a 3-fingered hand, a ritual mutilation of the priestly caste, a large figure rasped, "Today, Guiswa ordains that you shall be his prey." Well, this is not terrifying at all. Owen, you can't cast any spells, so let's move you out of the way for a moment. Locklear, stop this guy. And Gorath, jump in there too. The first enemy is down. Ooh, that's not good. Let's move out of the way here. Let's let Locklear take this guy on. Owen, you can rest for a moment, while Locklear continues his fight against this guy. Alright, I'm not going to waste any spells just yet. These guys don't seem too tough. How dare you strike Senor Locklear? I'll use my staff on you. I love it when Owen actually gets a hit off and does damage. He's not a melee fighter, but, you know, he does his best. And the second enemy is down. Gives us a chance for Locklear to rest. No, he's okay, though. They're at the maximum amount of stamina they can gain without going to an inn, so... Oh, well, that was, strange. Let's see what these guys are carrying. More kingdom armor and swords, it looks like. I'll take them in a moment. I just want to see what else we've got. Some good rations. I'd like to do that. Let's share that with the party. Some true sight tea. This sharpens a sight, a quality which an archer friend had once demonstrated. So this basically will increase your accuracy with a bow. We'll go ahead and give that to Gorath to use. And finally, flame root oil. So this can return to a normal temperature a blade. You can coat your armor, and a bladed weapon that's been a frost blade will return to normal if you have a blade that has been frost enchanted. You can undo it with this, and you can also protect your armor against frost bladed weapons as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take some of this stuff. Let's do some repair work while we're here. Very good. Let's go ahead and give Owen's armor over to Locklear to repair very quickly while we still have room in the inventory. 89%. This is actually better armor. Let's give that to Locklear. I mean, to Owen. Very good. Our ability's increased. We'll check that in a moment. Alright, let's move these repaired items to Owen so he can work with that. Oh, looks like we've gained more abilities. Did Locklear? Yeah, he did already. Okay, sorry. Awesome. The party's abilities have increased. Let's take a look at our abilities where they are now. Locklear's melee continues to increase up to 68%. His armor craft's getting better. Owen's defense is up to 40, and he's getting a little bit better at melee by what he did there. But once again, Gorath is our great weaponsmith here. Look at that, 73%, and his armor craft continues to increase as well. Okay, here's a ladder leading up. Perhaps this will lead us up out of the sewers to a better place. The ladder disappeared into a small dark hole in the ceiling. Climbing several rungs, Gorath turned to the others and called down. There's a locked grate up here. Shall we try to open it? Sure. Locklear cursed. After a long time examining the lock, he brushed the dust off his hands and knees. Someone's tampering before us has done this lock in, Locklear said. They've broken the mechanism trying to pick it. No one will be getting through that lock with a key, pick locks or otherwise. Alright, so we can't get through there. There is a chest here. Let's cast that spell that lets us detect trapped chests. Owen grabbed Gorath's shoulder. Startled by the sudden movement, Gorath halted and gazed up at his companion. What's wrong? The chest, Owen replied. Give me a moment. Concentrating his thoughts, another scene overlaid the one already before him, different only in the fact that it included a man kneeling before the box, a skin of naphtha in his hand. It's trapped, Owen replied, dazed by the effects of the spell. Someone's rigged it to explode the moment the lid is lifted. Shall we try to deactivate it? Let's not. Let's take a moment to rest, or to take a break. This is a good place to save that game, to save our game. Let's try to deactivate it. Unfortunately, no. We failed. And now, 2 of our people are near death, and Gorath is in bad shape. That's why I did that. We are not in any... We do not have the capabilities yet to do that sort of thing. We just don't, I believe, have the skills to disarm a chest, a trap like that. I believe that would require a higher lockpicking ability. We're only at 33%. Yeah. If we do that chest, we're just asking for trouble. So we're going to have to leave that. Maybe we can come back later if we increase some of our abilities. We'll leave that chest be for now. Luckily, we have a mystical ability to undo our past mistakes. An almost godlike power. Alright, this room leads off in 2 other directions, both the east and the west. Well, it looks like our first means out is a broken gate that we can't go through. I'm going to keep following these easternmost passages. We're going to try to do this somewhat methodically, going east as much as possible. There's more enemies there. We'll avoid those for a moment. This might lead us back around. Oh, there's something there. I don't know if Owen's spell is still active. Doesn't appear to be. We'll cast it one more time. Once again, it's trapped. Let's see if we can try to deactivate it. And this one we were able to deactivate, safely open. Alright, let's continue down this passageway and see what's waiting for us at the end of it. As you can see, this passageway connects through to where we were before. When we took that little detour to go and investigate those enemies that we saw, I believe. This is where we fought those enemies. As you can see, their dead bodies. So we've made a full circuit. We made a full circle, and we were able to explore a fairly good portion already. Although we're going to continue our explorations as we go. Looks like we've got a long way ahead of us before we can find our way through these horrible sewers. There are plenty of traps and plenty of enemies waiting for us. But for now, this seems like a pretty good place to take a break. In our next episode, we're continuing our exploration of the dark, dank sewers of Krondor. I'll see you then.